hey, here's the deal. Looks pretty close. Looks pretty good. Pitino and his wife have been here for a while. They've been looking at the place. They're looking at homes. They're checking it out. But stay tuned. Carol Harder and Charlie Cavanero can still screw this up. That's what I said on air.
Wow.
The president of the university and the athletic director can still screw this up. I don't know if I said screw. I might have said mess. But I did say that they can. What my sources are telling me, what my feelings are, is they can still mess this up. So that was the story. The next day in the newspaper, because they had a guy named Tim Graham for the Review Journal used to write. He was a critic. Imagine this now. Newspapers actually had a critic that would write about Las Vegas TV sports in the paper. And as cool as it was and it is being on TV, you always wanted to have your name in print too. Like that's sort of lasting. Like TV, you work a day, you do the stuff, you threw it away. There was no YouTube at the time.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, so there was nothing lasting about this. You threw your scripts away at the end of the day, and it went into the ether, and it was up there. So I'm glad I saved some tapes, and you can see some of my old stuff on YouTube. So anyway, that's what I did. So we were diametrically opposed there between what 8 was doing and what I was doing at 13. And next day, Tim Graham writes this big article saying Dave says it's done deal, and sort of gave him the nickname Done Deal Dave, which he's not lived down in this town. It's Done Deal Dave, Done Deal Dave.
It's a done deal.
And it's he's no longer here. He's up in Salt Lake now doing news. And of course, Pitino didn't come here. And, of course, Charlie and Carol screwed it up. One of the things that they did was they took Rick Pitino's wife to the airport, and Joanne, I think is her name, dropped her off at the airport, and at like you pull up to the side and you drop her off and take the bags out of the car and you say, okay, have a good flight home and have a good flight. See you later. And her flight was like 8 hours late, so she sat in the airport for 8 hours.
No.
And just had nothing to do. Instead of them going in with her and being there with her and, and babysitting her, recruiting her. You're recruiting her is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Trying to recruit Rick Pitino and his wife to be able to come to UNLV. They just dropped her off at the curb and let her go. And they put him, instead of at the suite at the Mirage, they put him in a Motel 6. Seriously. Now, not the Well,
at least it wasn't. At least it wasn't Circus.
They put they put him in a cheap hotel, and they basically screwed it up.
Wow.
And Rick Pitino was quoted at some point after this saying he would never come to Vegas. His wife wouldn't let him after the stunt that they pulled of just dropping her off at the street corner.
Well, I don't know. It could have also been his other sex scandals that probably.
And those weren't
maybe thought
those weren't out yet at that point. Those still were.
Maybe made her think twice
about Vegas.
Maybe let's go to a nice town like Louisville instead.
So then he almost again it was almost done deal, but it was not done deal. He didn't come here. And so I'm back at the sports office joking around with some of the people back there today and going, wow, maybe it was a good thing that Rick Pitino didn't come here to Vegas after all. Could you imagine the trouble he would have gotten into this town? I think Louisville, okay, if you're with the NCAA, they've only given the death penalty one time, and that was SMU football. Do you look at this now as repeat offender? This case, if you look at it and go, okay, you had that sex scandal stuff. Now you got this? Is that worthy of a death penalty to Louisville basketball?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think the sex scandal at least so now I say the sex scandal being the
Alcatraz. Then do they get Alcatraz like Capone? Do they put them out there? Patino on Alcatraz. You see that happening?
It's. I think the prostitution.
The Rock. Sorry, I'm a little loopy tonight. I haven't had much sleep.
The prostitution scandal. I don't think impacts actual. The actual integrity of the game. This does. This is a big integrity of the game, and you have to. It's all going to come down to this FBI investigation. NCAA is going to do their own investigation, but it's also going to come down to what the FBI actually discovers and traces back to who's actually involved. Was the athletic director involved? Is that the reason why he wouldn't actually put Pitino on leave? Did he know about it? How deep does this knowledge actually go within the organization? Can you blame blame an entire organization and its students for something like this.
Well, they did it with SMU,
and they did it with what's the Penn State.
Well, oh boy, Bill, we're at an hour and 5 minutes right now. We'll get into the Penn State. The way that situation was treated was, from the NCAA's point of view, was horrendous.
Now,
horrendous the way they treated it.
You're right, and that's the thing is what the NCAA has to do is, right now the integrity of the game is a problem. I mean, that is fact. I mean, we know that players are getting paid off. There is extortion deals. There is backdoor deals to get players, which sets an unlevel playing field for the entire sport. The entire collegiate world where people are basing their future careers on is in jeopardy, and that is fact, and that has been fact. It's just finally coming out to light. But we can't penalize the kids. It's not their fault. The ones that took the bribes, yeah, you could say it, but let's say this kid is really good and he wanted to go to Louisville and he has aspirations to one day be drafted by the NBA, and he has a very good chance of it. Now all of a sudden, you cut their entire program for a year, or say, hey, you're done for this year, and you suspend them. That's not good. I mean, that doesn't hurt anybody. I mean,
right.
Yeah, it hurts the school, but who does it hurt the most is the kids, and that's the whole point. I mean, they can jump ship and go to a different school, and they probably will, but it's a waste of a lot of time, energy. Schools might not, it's not going to be the same. I mean, you're uprooting an entire life that you built and you planned out. Hey, the next few years of school, I'm going to, maybe get my degree and get drafted by the NBA, or get drafted early if I'm good enough. And now all of a sudden you have to, move to North Carolina or go to Duke now, because that's your chance. And now you're fighting for a position that you maybe have already won in Louisville. I mean, it's going to hurt the actual players. It's going to hurt these kids that are trying to make a better life for themselves and actually be a professional player. And it's not their fault entirely that some greedy men are trying to screw them over by by doing this kind of stuff. I mean, it's unfair. It really is.
Yeah. With that, Bill, we got a lot going on here tonight.
Yeah, we do.
This weekend here in town, and some of the stuff in Vegas. Let's go through that and wrap this thing up here. We've got, I mentioned the truck race coming up this weekend out at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
NASCAR monster trucks.
Craftsman truck. It's 5 o'clock start out there at the Speedway. The Golden Knights have a game Thursday nights.
I can't wait to see Gravedigger being driven by Dale Earnhardt Jr.
against the Widowmaker. Okay, no, that'd be great.
Gravedigger.
And so Thursday nights you've got hockey at T-Mobile Arena, exhibition game. Vegas Golden Knights in Colorado, I believe, and then on Sunday nights, Vegas Golden Knights and the San Jose Sharks, a team that I've never forgiven for stealing the name of my LA Sharks team and go to San Jose. And how far away are they from the? There's not Sharks there in San Jose.
I don't even know where San Jose is.
Do you know the way to say? Do you set me up for the song? Were you? It's in Northern California. It's east of San Francisco.
Oh, no kidding.
But it's not Bay Area. It's not.
Hey,
you've seen. I don't know. Good question.
You've seen Sharknado. Sharks can go anywhere.
You make a very good point. They were here in Las Vegas, taking down, the hotels here in town. They went to Luxor.
Oh, speaking Excalibur, of last thing, real quick. Speaking of ridiculous things, we're still alive. If you listen to the last podcast,
right.
we were not supposed to be here.
Bill,
after
good to
Saturday.
see you, by the way. Good to see you here. That's right. The end of the world did not happen last Saturday.
It did not. And I'm just glad the last NFL game I saw was not the Rams against the 49ers.
That would have been horrible. You got to see the Patriots make a comeback against Houston.
What a catch.
Craziness. I mean, that was just craziness. Yes. I'm in a Survivor League, which a Survivor League is you pick a team and to win, no point spread, and you can't pick the same team twice in the same year, so you only get to pick a team once.
Wow.
And it's great. Payoff's good. It's fun. It's a fun time with the guys. And I won it one year. Won it about 3 years ago. Last year, I remember Chicago's second week I was out. So I'm still in. But we got 12 guys in the league. 6 of them have New England. So not me. I had Kansas City, so I'm fine. Kansas City won. but 6 of them had New England. And I'm going
week 1, huh?
Week 3.
Okay.
This week they would half the league would have been knocked out.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
On that, and it's winner take all, and then the other 3 had Green Bay.
And the
other 3 others had Green Bay,
and it's not with
12.
the point spread. It's just
no point spread.
Okay.
Oh no point spread. It's just win or lose, and three people. So there would have been 9 of the 12 would have been gone had it not been for Aaron Rodgers with the last second, 17 seconds left. Touchdown.
So who's your survivor pick this week?
Oh, I've already made it. Okay, I don't know whether I should announce it. That could jinx it, but
I mean, there's some tough games out there this week. So, what is Ron Futrell's lock of the week
for my survivor pick? Let me go here to I don't know. I made it already because you don't want to forget making that. You have to make it before the first game on Thursday. I've got Seattle. Against Indianapolis.
Yep.
Seattle at home.
Seattle at home. I think that's a solid pick.
Seattle can't score the touchdowns. They can get field goals, but Indianapolis certainly can't. So that's the largest point spread, and I don't always pick the largest point spread. I took Kansas City last week.
Yep.
Okay, so Kansas City was only a 3-point favorite, and so you don't see what other guys pick until it's done, but. You can go pretty deep if you have enough people in this thing. And again, I love the survivor thing when you get to play it for a while because, again, it's win or lose. You pick one team each week.
I mean, they did beat Cleveland last week, Indianapolis. So, I mean, that's
Seattle ain't Cleveland.
That is true. It was still a close game between Indy and Cleveland. So.
Yeah. And, again, the important part, you can't pick the same team during the season. Once you pick them during the year, they're done. So you can't say, let's go pick, it's 1972 and I'm going to pick the Dolphins every week.
Yep. Yeah. So you have
okay. So you have to switch it up.
And once they're picked once, you can never pick them again.
You can never pick them again.
Wow.
Yes. So I have already picked. I've got Pittsburgh. I took Pittsburgh week 1. I took Oakland week 2, Kansas City week 3.
Yeah. Well.
So I'm still hanging there with New England. I got New England and Green Bay, so I got some pretty good teams left that I can pick. What it did do that week, even though Green Bay and Houston, Green Bay and the New England Patriots won and barely won at the last second touchdowns.
Close games,
okay,
yeah.
Those guys in my group that have already used those teams up.
Nice.
So there is some strategy. That is some strategy there. It does tell you the percentage of people across the country that have picked Seattle this week. 44% of the people across the country have picked Seattle as their one team. Atlanta's the next one against Buffalo. The Falcons are 4.5-point favorites. Green Bay against Chicago. That's also 12% of the country has picked Green Bay against. So you can look at this two ways. You can take a team. You can say I'm going to go against the team that sucks and is not going to win. Like the Jets would be an easy go against. Okay, like every week, whoever the Jets play, I'm taking. Whoever Cleveland plays.
But the Jets destroyed Miami last week. I wouldn't say destroyed, but it was a favorable win.
Watch Miami, man. Watch Miami. Here's. Do I dare say a lock of the week? It's the early game. It's the game over in London where the players will stand for the God Save the Queen and they'll get on one knee for the national anthem. It's insane.
We got to wrap this up.
Yeah, and that's. Oh, hold on. Now I just switched. I accidentally switched my pick to Green Bay. Hold on. I got to get it back to Seattle. Save pick while I was doing this. So, do they have the early game? Yes. So that they're going to struggle.
Who is it?
They have New Orleans. The Saints are playing Miami in
London.
Miami has been traveling all over the place.
Yeah,
they've been traveling everywhere.
Kidding.
They've been vagabonds. And I think that's got to affect them that you now throw a London trip.
Yeah, and the fact that the rest of the season they have no more bye week. So
no more bye week. That will affect later weeks, but this week, so that's one I
and
like.
Last thing I'll add real quick on the national anthem thing, just a good thing to look up. St. Louis Blues played against Chicago Blackhawks the other night. They actually started the national anthem by a Navy Navy enlisted man started singing, and after the first kind of sentence, he actually stopped singing, and they let the crowd know in advance everybody else in the arena to take over on the national anthem. And they had, I think, like 19,000 people, 20,000 people or something, all singing the national anthem in the crowd. It was awesome. It was good to look at. That game